Hey guys, I wanted to come on here for just a moment and um, talk to you guys about a word that I feel like God has given me, and I have been feeling extremely like this is for 2 days. I've held on to this information, okay, but those 2 days that it's been going, I have felt an urgency to get on here, like in complete anxiety to get on here. And then I've been hearing about some of the news, and so like it's just been like complete chaos for me in my head because I'm like, I got to get it on camera. I've got to get this down. I've got to tell my brothers and sisters. So here in Oklahoma, it's 10:31 p.m. So I am going to try to make this quick. So the other day I was just on my way home after taking the kids to school, and I was in prayer, and I was asking God to, as usual, full armor of God on my kids, and praying for Israel. I was praying for Trump, and I was praying for those affected by the fires. And so I got in, and I was still in prayer. I had got home and decided to get in my Bible. And so as I was walking towards where my Bible was, I just, was asking God, like, give me a word, whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. Normally I'll like have my book closed and I'll kind of thumble through the pages, and this time I didn't. Like I picked it up. It's in like a little case thing, and so I unzipped it and I opened it up, or I held it in my hand, and then like I didn't fumble so much. It was just like I know it sounds nuts, but it's like I just knew to go to this specific page. And the Lord opened it up or sent me to Isaiah 8, and the title is Isaiah and His Children as Signs. So, I held on to this information because, listen, I overthink things a lot. I've said it before, I have OCD, and so I obsessed about it, and I just kept thinking the things that I have to say are probably not that important, and Satan was trying to whisper in my ear and tell me that it's not a big deal, nobody's going to listen to you, anything that you have to say is not important. And so for those 2 days, it got me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It got to me, and I just felt like they're going to think you're dumb, or like just anything negative. But I'm going to read to you guys what it says, and I'm going to tell you what I researched, and I'm going to tell you guys what I feel the Lord is telling me. Okay, I'm not saying it's right. Okay, I'm just saying this is just what I feel. I can't explain it. I used to have more visions and dreams a long time ago, but God has shifted me into a different direction. And so, at any rate, so He gave me this word instead of more of like a vision or anything like that. So, it says, this is what stuck out to me. For before the boy knows how to say my mother and my father, the wealth of Damascus, which I'll pause for like 2 seconds for it. Listen, my whole life, okay, not my whole life, but when I was in Bible study and stuff, when I was a kid, I was always under the impression that Damascus was in Israel. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please. Because I don't know. I can't fix what I don't know is broken, as they say. Okay, so if I'm wrong about what I'm about to tell you, please correct me. But I was looking up all this stuff because Watchman on the Wall 88, love him. He's super awesome. Actually, I might link his video just because. Anyway, I might link his video because so weird how the Lord works, man. So I was actually going to my doctor's appointment today, and I just so happened, I'm always watching you guys' videos or someone's videos, okay? Like, I'm always, like, wanting to know what's going on and what the Lord is up to. So anyway, he had come on and he was talking about Damascus. And so in Isaiah 17, and I thought, the Lord brought me to Isaiah 8. And then I was like, nah, you're reaching. Like, no. And so what tends to happen is, like, when I start to overthink things, 500 things come up here, and then I look it up, and then, like, I forget majority of it because I don't have a pen and paper at that moment, and I don't want to, and I was driving, so listening, because that's what I do. I'll put it on my Bluetooth on my car, and I'll just listen the whole time. Like, I half the time don't listen to music as much anymore. Anyway, so I found out through when I got to the doctor's appointment, after watching that video or whatever, I'll be honest, after he said Damascus, anything else that he had said, like, went in one ear and out the other. I need to actually go back and watch it because it was important information. But that moment stood out to me, and I was like, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, God. All right. So, yeah, anyway. I found out, though, that Damascus is in Syria. Like, that blows my mind. Please, again, correct me if I'm wrong. Please, because that just blew my mind. So, the wealth of Damascus and the plunder of Samaria, which is the northern west bank of Israel, by the way, will be carried off by the king of Assyria. Now, a lot of people tend to think that Assyria is Syria. That is just not the information that I'm gathering. Please correct me again if I'm wrong, but just under my research, I did not get that. I actually got Iraq. So just saying. So again, the wealth of Damascus and the plunder of Samaria will be carried off by the king of Assyria. So in other words, the wealth of Syria and the plunder of the northern west bank of Israel will be carried off by the king of Iraq. To be honest, I don't know who the person is out there, but at that moment, that's not what stood out to me. That's not what I felt that I needed to do. The reason I wanted to go into my Bible in the first place, I mean, obviously we should always be in the Word, but is because for the past several days I have been, like, hearing the word Erdogan. That's it. Nothing else. Just Erdogan. I'll be watching a video and all of a sudden, like, I'll hear Erdogan. And so I've been kind of keeping an eye on him. So far, I don't have anything that I feel is important enough. Okay. I just don't feel that right now. So anyway, and then it says, the Lord spoke to me again, because this people has rejected the gently flowing waters of Shiloh and rejoices over Rezin. Now, Rezin, again, what I felt after my research was that Rezin is the Syria king. Which is Bashar al-Assad. And then I actually put 2 Kings 15:37, 2 Kings 16:5. I'm not entirely sure why I did that, because again, when I'm overthinking and I'm processing, like, I just got to get it on paper. But for just this purpose of the video, I wanted at least to get this information out. So it says, and rejoices over Rezin and the son of Remaliah. Now I might be saying that wrong. Therefore, Remaliah. So what I felt is that Remaliah is maybe like a god that they worship. Okay, that's just what I feel, and from what I'm getting from my research. Okay, therefore the Lord is about to bring against them the mighty floodwaters of the Euphrates, the king of Assyria with all his pomp. Okay, well, from what I understand, Assad, yeah, he is, no, that is it. He's he's very, very egotistic. Okay. We'll just stay with that. It will overflow all its channels, run over all its banks, and sweep on into Judah, swirling over it, passing through it, and reaching up to the neck. Its outspread wings will cover the breadth of your land, Emmanuel. And then it goes on, raise the war cry. And this part, so when I started reading into that, I don't want to say it was chills, because it wasn't that. It was like, how do I explain it? Lord, give me the words. I just knew. I knew that was where the importance was. I just can't explain it. I just felt like that was where I needed to get the information out. So it says, raise the war cry, you nations, and be shattered. Listen, all you distant lands, prepare for battle and be shattered. Prepare for battle and be shattered. Devise your strategy, but it will be thwarted. Propose your plan, but it will not stand, for God is with us. I feel in my spirit, and I even wrote this down that day because I wanted to be sure that that's what I was feeling. Like anything that I'm feeling in that moment, I wanted to get it down. And it says, and I have an arrow. I mean, I'll show you guys here in just a minute, but I have an arrow pointing from, what I just read. And it says, coming to Syria. And I even put a question mark because I wasn't even quite sure if it was Syria itself. But I do feel like it's one of those players that we, are one of the big players right now in the Middle East. But coming to Syria, or maybe because they're about to invade Israel. Okay. That I feel, especially with the news that I've been hearing today, I personally feel that God was trying to tell me to get this word out, this message out, to tell you guys that that Israel is about to be invaded, that it is about to be under attack, and that obviously as believers we are not to be afraid, but we should pray, and we should continuously be in prayer all day long, like all day long. Even you don't have to like physically say stuff, but like all day long we should be constantly up in our heads, even just like, hey God, like I just want to take a moment and I want to pray for your people, and I want to pray for Israel, and I want to pray for Netanyahu, and I want to pray for Trump, and I want, you know what I mean? Like we just need to constantly be doing these things because obviously it's coming. Okay. This isn't a question of whether or not, well, is it going to happen? No. See, that's not the question here. It is going to happen. I feel like it is going to come very fast, and all this news has been kind of coming up pretty quick anyway. But to me, in my spirit, I honestly feel as if God is trying to tell us that we need to constantly be praying, constantly be in the Word, constantly putting on the full armor of God. And we need to constantly be doing this. And I can't reiterate that enough. Like, I know I've said it like 500 times, but I need you to understand how important it is. We are at a time right now that the rapture is upon us. I mean, it's literally, we never set dates. We don't set dates. Okay. I am the first to, I do personally believe that I am one of the, I won't set a date, but it would surprise me. Okay. Again, not setting a date. I'm just putting that out there. It would really, really surprise me if we went into next year. It really would. God's right there. He's at the door. And God has perfect timing. So we just need to be prayed up. We need to constantly be putting on the full armor of God. We need to continuously be encouraging each other. Everybody that we come into contact with, we need to show them God's love all the time. And just constantly be encouraging one another, because right now is such, it can be very, it can be a time of we're just tired, not just physically, mentally, or, but also spiritually and emotionally. And so, these are exciting times, obviously, because, it's really cool to see these things kind of come to pass and know that we were the ones that get to see it. Like, that's so cool to me. Like, I don't know. But at the same time, it is sad sometimes when we see, like when I was on Facebook a minute ago, my kids, we dressed up. I'll be honest with you. All we did was we went out to eat and we just dressed up. And my kids have told me 3 or 4 different times tonight that this was probably the best Halloween ever. And when I say that, we didn't trick or treat. We didn't celebrate Halloween. We dressed up. We dressed up and went out to eat as a family. We went to a store called Five and Below, which is like $5 and below. And we goofed off. Like, we legitimately just goofed off, and then went to Walmart and bought candy and came home, ate it, and watched like silly little videos and just laughed. Like, that's pretty much what we did all night from the time they got off school. So I felt it in my spirit after praying and praying and praying, after watching video after video about should Christians celebrate Halloween. And I just personally felt like, that I shouldn't. Okay, that's just me. All right. Someone had said in their video, they said, have you ever, and I don't remember word for word how she said it, but have you ever wondered why you're celebrating it? And so I, as a researcher, researched it, and I just did not feel like there was any real point to it. So there's that. But I was thumbing through Facebook after I posted, our pictures of us being goofy and like stuff like that. And there was a group, a makeup group that I'm in. This makeup group also has a women's ministry thing, so I'm connected to both of them. And anyway, I had seen the picture was of a woman who has lost a ton of weight. She looks fantastic. Either way, she looked fantastic to me, but whatever. Anywho, so she was dressed up and in revealing clothes, and asked for us to post our pictures or whatever of our outfit. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just put makeup on like more heavily than usual, but so I didn't post mine. But I looked through there, and more revealing photos, just a lot of revealing photos. And I know some will probably think that I'm just being a judgmental person, but that's not what it is. So, man, I don't know. I just see the world the way that, God's opened my eyes. And so a lot of the things that I've been seeing lately, God's just opened my eyes to what it really is. Anyway, at any rate, we need to constantly be prayed up, because God is so good, and He loves us so fiercely. So even though these are exciting times, we do need to just pray for those people who are in the midst of it, unfortunately, like the California fires and such. And so we just need to constantly be praying for them, and be praying for Israel right now. Be praying for Netanyahu, and be praying for Trump. I found out today also that that the House has decided to move along with impeachment, and we just need to constantly be in prayer, because he's for Israel. In theory, I mean, it's going to come to a point to where America will be moved out of the way, because that's just how it's supposed to happen. I mean, Netanyahu even was saying something about that. I mean, that it's just what it is. That's how it's written. So, I love you guys, and I'm trying to keep up with this, because I know that it's just consistency, and I've got to get out of my head and stop thinking that anything that I have to say is just dumb, because, even though I might feel that way, and I still somewhat feel that way, I'm going to continue to do what God tells me to do. When He wants me to post a video, I'm going to post a video. It may not be every day, but I am going to try to keep up with it when God wants me to keep up with it. So, I love you guys, and I pray for everyone. I pray for anyone that is on any of the channels that I watch. All the comments, sometimes I'll see comments and they're like, please pray for me, or please pray for Joe Bob because, he's ill, or he's not a believer, or whatever. I don't care what it is. If I usually ask God to just bless and touch each and every one of those people. So, let's just, like I said, keep in prayer all the time. And I will try to get on here as soon as God gives me another word. So yeah, I don't work really late tomorrow. So as soon as I get off, I'll probably come home and get my Bible. And if God presses upon me that I should get on here and tell you guys what He's told me, then I will do so. If not, as soon as He does, I will. So I pray that you guys have a blessed rest of your week, and I pray the full armor of God on each and every one of you. And if you don't know Jesus, and if you have questions, ask me. I've in one of my videos I put my email. You can email it to me privately. You don't have to comment or whatever. Or if you want to know more about something, comment, message me, whatever. Other than that, I do pray for you guys. I hope you have a lovely, lovely evening, and may God be with all of you. Bye.